Imagine, every year 40% of advertising revenue doesn't end up with real people, but with bots, and Verasity says, enough is enough. But can an altcoin with just $13.9 million in market capitalization really solve a $400 billion problem? I've applied my strict 20-metric analysis, and today I'm presenting figures, data, and facts you won't find anywhere else. But before we dive into the details, let's first take a look at just how big ad fraud actually is in the video market. Almost every second advertising euro doesn't end up with real people, but with bots. And the problem is bigger than many think, and in fact it doesn't just affect large advertising agencies, but especially viewers, streamers, and creators as well. According to industry reports, out of a global market volume of around $400 billion, 40% is lost to ad fraud. That amounts to several $billion every year disappearing into fake news, bots, or click farms. Money that really ought to be better spent on creators and content. Many people think that ad fraud is a problem for big corporations. But smaller creators, independent creators, and viewers also feel the effects. Less income, more spam, poorer content. Just look at some of the comments. The kind of spam comments you get from random bots. The more money wasted on fake views, the less there is left for genuine quality and innovation. This doesn't just affect Netflix, but everyone active in the video market, from gamers to streamers to media companies. But how does it actually work now? Advertisers pay for real people to see their campaigns, but an ever-increasing share of this spending goes to waste because bots are counted as real views. Companies like eMarketer and Juniper Research confirm billions are lost every year as the fraud systems are, of course, constantly improving. Blacklists, image verification, IP filters, they're no longer enough. Bots now imitate human behavior so well that they can effortlessly bypass these filters. It's especially difficult to identify real viewers in the video sector. Often, adverts run for minutes in the background without anyone actually watching. What is officially sold as a success, however, brings no real value to anyone. The competition in the crypto market is fierce. Teaser Network, with a market cap of 750 million, LivePeer, with 310 billion, for example, is another well-known name that also wants to solve this problem. Both focus on decentralized video structures, but not on tackling ad fraud. And this is precisely where Verasity comes in. With its patented proof-of-view module, Verasity has fully specialized in combating advertising fraud in the video market. Proof-of-view ensures that only genuine views, meaning those generated by real people, are counted and billed. The whole process also runs on an open ledger, making it transparent and verifiable. Ideally, this means that advertising spend really only reaches genuine viewers and no longer ends up with bots. But the big question remains, can this technology truly restore trust in the advertising market? Or is proof of view just another promise that fails in reality? How solid is Verasity really, when you examine all the numbers, data, and facts? From the market cap to the token distribution. And that's exactly what we're going to take a detailed look at now. So, grab yourself a coffee, leave a like for me, and then let's get started. But a quick disclaimer, my channel does not provide financial advice, it's purely for informational purposes. At the moment, Verasity has a market capitalization of around 14 million euros. That's low cap territory with a lot of potential, but of course also considerable risk. Coins like these are like startups. They can take off, but they can also go under. So, be very careful. Next point, what about the circulating supply? That brings a high risk of dilution. There are vesting periods and even burning mechanisms, but there's still a risk. On top of that, VRA now has a dual token system. Still, only a 3 here, because there is a risk. By the way, are you interested in altcoins? Then I recommend my favorite crypto exchange. There are an awful lot of altcoins there. They have low fees, and I really recommend that you start looking into which exchanges you use as early as possible. Because you won't always find every altcoin on every exchange, but I always help you find the exchange where you can get the altcoin I'm currently presenting. And if you sign up now using my link below, you'll even get a bonus. All information can be found in the pinned comment. Let's move on to the roadmap. The roadmap for 2025 is very ambitious. Dual token system, as mentioned. By the way, there's a new partnership on Tron. Vera Player updates, but the past has shown delays. Trust has suffered. Nevertheless, they remain promising. Here, a solid 7. Next point, how strong is the team? They have an experienced team from the blockchain sector, media, and tech. Names like Eurosport and Sky are involved. The CEO brings his own vision, plus the POV patent, which is also extremely important. So, real substance, a strong 7. Next, what about the narrative? The story. The project aims to combat ad fraud, essentially advertising fraud, a billion-dollar problem. Up to 40% of advertising revenue sometimes goes to bots. And Verasity says, not with us. This is relevant, tangible, and in long-term demand, if not more in demand than ever. You must have seen all those bot comments yourself sometimes. Here, 7. Next point, what problem do they actually want to solve? As already mentioned, advertising fraud is a huge problem. Views are ultimately faked, not by real people, but by bots. With proof of view, Verasity brings a real technology that fights against this. As a result, advertisers only pay for genuine views and users are rewarded. Here, a strong 8. Next point, how sustainable is VRA? Verasity runs on Ethereum. This makes them quite sustainable and, additionally, they are now also on Tron. Both are energy efficient. So, another strong 9 here. Then, what about investors? They have solid backing from strong investors. Alphabet, Black-Green Capital. At the start, they had extremely strong investors, but these days, not as many new ones are coming on board. That's why it's only a 7 here. Then, who are the competitors? Tisa, Livepeer, and the like are big and strong, but each has its own patent. The focus is on ad fraud. A clear USP, but still a small fish in a shark tank. Here, 5. By the way, do you want more in-depth analyses like this or my new dual format? Then I recommend my playlist, the 10x Universe. I've already analyzed loads of altcoins there and done plenty of duals. All I can say is, it's extremely exciting, and for next weekend I've analyzed 2 more altcoins that could be really interesting for you if you're into low-cap altcoins. Especially now, as preparation, I recommend subscribing to my channel so you don't miss any new altcoins. That way, you'll be fully informed. Then, how strong are they in marketing? Large social media presence, new partnerships, regular updates. Verasity is pushing hard, but the big spotlights are still missing. A solid 7. Next, how simple is the idea behind Verasity? In the end, users watch videos and receive VRA tokens for it, and the advertisers only pay for views, real views, not bots. Sounds simple, and it is. Is the concept clear to you? Let me know in the comments. A strong 8 here. Next, what is the long-term vision? Global adoption of POV, expansion into the metaverse, new advertising markets. The vision is clear. Now it all comes down to execution. A strong 8. Next, are they deflationary? What about the token? Yes, they have burning mechanisms, which is very good. Limited supply at the bottom. Next, FDV. They're just over a 10x, which is positive. They're not overvalued. Next, what about liquidity? At 0.33, they're extremely liquid. A strong 9. Next, what about the token distribution? As already mentioned, only about 10% are in circulation. That's extremely little, but they do have clear lockup periods, which is good, and a burning mechanism. That creates stability. Next point, what about the top coin holders? Around 100,000 holders. Sounds good at first, as it also has large wallets. Apparently also internal to the project, which of course can promote centralization. Only a 6 here. Next, what about the utility? Advertising, staking, payments, and of course POV access as well. The VR token has real use cases. That's convincing. A strong 9. Next, how strong is the community? On X, Reddit, LinkedIn, there's activity everywhere. Verasity has a solid fanbase here. Either way, are you a VRA holder too? Let me know in the comments. Here, a strong 8. Next, what news is still to come? What updates are planned for this year? Ultimately, the dual is on everyone's lips right now, but there are also new partnerships. The project is definitely staying active, a strong 9. And then we come to the result. Verasity is definitely an exciting altcoin, but on my 10x ranking list, they've only made it to the middle of the pack, with 74.1%. They have an extremely low market cap, which of course means massive moonshot potential. They genuinely have a use case. They have strong technology, which is even patented. The token is deflationary, but as I said, there are also rather few tokens on the market, which is suboptimal. The community is strong. Verasity is ready for the next push. It's a project with solid technology, clear visions, and damn good timing, because more and more bots are taking over everything. By the way, if you want to know if I hold VRA in my personal portfolio and full insight into the 10x ranking list that I just showed, then a little bit of self-promotion for my 10x Elite. There you get full insight into my personal portfolio. You get access to the 10x ranking list and to my personal watch list, where I keep all the altcoins I'm currently watching, the ones I plan to buy in the future, and those I'm topping up on. But the 10x Elite offers much more than that. And if you sign up this month, you'll get a 30% discount. You can also pay with PayPal, credit card, or even crypto. And you don't have to commit to a monthly subscription, you can simply choose a 30-day access instead. So, it's all very relaxed. All the information is in the pinned comment. Now, let's move on to the price scenarios. Let's talk about the bear scenario. Imagine the market moves sideways. The big rally doesn't happen. Hype. Nowhere to be seen. What happens to Verasity then? The price just drifts around. No real moonshot. Here, maybe 0.002 or 0.003 US dollars would be possible. But now let's move on to the normal scenario. The market grows slowly but steadily. In this scenario, VRA could gradually follow along because Bitcoin also reaches a certain level. A price between 0.01 and 0.04 would be possible. Now let's move on to the optimistic scenario. The edtech sector recognizes the value of VRA. Major partners come on board and the community grows. Then we're talking about prices from $0.2 up to $0.4. That would be huge. But now let's look at the very optimistic scenario. The entire crypto market grows massively. Verasity has positioned itself as the standard in the fight against ad fraud. Large companies are using Verasity. The dual token approach works flawlessly. The community keeps getting stronger. Then we're already talking about 1, 2, or even 3 US dollars. Sounds crazy. But anyone who saw Bitcoin 10 years ago knows what could happen. Back then, people also thought it was mad that Bitcoin could reach 1,000 or even 100,000. And the vision for 2030? What does it look like there? If Verasity really were to become the standard in this field by 2030, essentially the digital infrastructure for it with Vera views, then we're talking about prices of 5 to 10 US dollars, because by then the coin would be indispensable in the fight against ad fraud. YouTube, Twitch, everyone is building on Verasity. And now that you know about the massive potential of Verasity, I'll link you to another altcoin that's also extremely exciting. Why even Satoshi Nakamoto, the founder of Bitcoin, would be surprised here. All of that in the full analysis.